So we're going to move on to the transmission and transfer case. Got a 205 transfer case and a 435 transmission, both new process. Going to twin stick the transfer case, clean it up, paint it, along with clean up and paint the transmission. Probably put some seals and gaskets in both of them as need be. Also attach a PTO to the side of the transmission, and then figure out probably put in a new clutch and stuff. Got a nice cast iron bell housing here, and we'll do some how-tos on how to, and some photos on doing the twin stick on that. Alright, so we're gonna start on the twin stick process. Got some instructions offline. Just search it a little bit and you'll find some stuff. Printed some stuff out. A guy had his own article online, and he linked to an article that Peterson's four-wheel drive had, and it gives some good details on how to do it. Printer kind of did a little funky on where it cut stuff off, but anyway, we're gonna go through this. I think the first process is to drive out the pins there that hold the stuff in. Anyway, if you look it up on the internet, you can definitely read into it and see exactly what's all goes into it. The hardest part is to do the linkage. If you can see right there, that's some linkage the guy bought for 105 bucks. I think I could probably manufacture my own, so that's what we're going to do, and we'll get more into that in a little bit later. So here we got it all ground. Ground this right here, that right there. Use combination of a bench grinder, hand files, and some memory cloth. Bench grinder got some rough cut going, but then I couldn't get the slope I wanted, and plus it being level, so I used a hand file for that. Luckily this isn't that hard of steel, so hand file was actually able to work. Then we got the polish out of it with some memory cloth. So yeah, now we can put it back together and test it. So we got this pretty well tore apart. Got all the snouts and stuff off laying over here. Gonna clean it up some so we can paint it. Also, ordered up some gaskets and seal sets from Cobra Transmission. Not that I'm doing an endorsement for them or anything, but a hell of a good price. The transmission one was $8, and the transfer case one was, I think it was $13, then $11 shipping and handling. So it came to a total of like 30-something bucks shipped to my house. So I don't know what quality is, but this isn't no race car or anything, just an off-road rig. So I mean, the gas is all the same. The only quality thing I'd worry about would be the seals. They don't have any stampings, but you know, they're probably the same quality as like Master Pro or something you'd get from O'Reilly. But they look alright. Anyway, I'm gonna clean this stuff up a little bit and put it back together. So we got this transfer case all painted up and put back together with new seals and gaskets. So I'll show you how this works. Right now, both rails are all the way in. That means we are in low range. That turns twice as fast. So if we pull this one out, 1. That means we can turn this, and the rear's in neutral. Pull this one out 1, and the front's in neutral, rear's also in neutral. So in normal driving operation, this would be all the way out, rear's engaged in high range, and your front's disengaged in neutral. So if you want to go into 4-wheel drive, you operate this lever, pull it out, front's engaged. But the cool thing about this is we can have front wheel drive only, so push that into neutral gate, and so now we can control the front. It's engaged there, but not do anything back there. And we can also push this all the way into low range, so we have low range front wheel drive, or put it in neutral and push that one all the way in, so we have low range 2-wheel drive rear. That'd be good for like backing stuff up and whatnot, where you want the low gears but not actually needing 4-wheel drive. So now we're cleaning up the adapter plate that goes on here. Gonna bolt that on, and next step's gonna do linkage so we can twin stick this. So I just finished up the custom linkage here. Got it so each side is controlled separately. We'll later have to finish up the top pieces that will go up into the cab, but we're going to do that after we get it mounted up in there. So we know which way we're going, whether we need to bend this way, that way, forward, or backwards. We're still needs some finishing touches, like these bushings adjust a little bit, but otherwise it shifts pretty well. And I do have the detents loosened up so I can do it by hand, otherwise it'd be a lot stiffer, but so I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Pretty much what we did was we took some flat stock had laying around, this stuff here, attached it to, what it was is this was some 3/8 inside diameter pipe tubing. Actually, I think it's like DOM tubing, but it's just some extra laying around. Welded a piece of this onto the bottom of that, measured down so they each had the same throw where I drilled the hole. And then this was just some rod I had laying around also. Bent it up and made it work. So next step is to do the transmission and bolt it up, and then get that all up inside the Bronco and get the engine in.